Joining us now is Eduardo Covarrubias. He is the executive chairman of Los Andes Copper. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see you here.
So you tell us that the Vizcachitas project in Chile is rare. It's an enormous opportunity. So what's so attractive about it?
Well, I think there's 4 or 5 reasons. I mean, projects of this scale are very hard to come across. We have over 10 billion pounds. Actually, we have 13 billion pounds of measured and indicated resources. That puts us in a very rare space. In addition to that, I think there's an issue about location. We're in central Chile. That means we're in the right jurisdiction, and we're in a part of the country that has plenty of infrastructure already available. We have railway lines nearby, plenty of access points for power, ports available, and that's a huge advantage. And we have also skilled labor in nearby towns and cities. That is a very big advantage. We have all these things make actually a good business case for Vizcachitas. And I think one of the last element, but not less important, is we don't have any encumbrances. We don't have a strategic interest in our equity, and we don't have any commitments on the offtake. So essentially, we're one of those few projects that have the economic profile, and at the same time is available for any major without having to deal with other parties already in.
Right, and you've said before that it's probably one of the 5 or 6 biggest in the world copper projects. Yeah. Now, so you're planning a pre-feasibility study soon, and I know you can't really talk about the economics necessarily, but you did a PEA in 2019. So what have you done differently this time?
Well, we have a technical team that's been involved in designing, developing, building several of these Tier 1 copper projects. So they took our PEA and actually transformed it into a real-life project. And some of the bigger changes we made was on the grinding side, we moved from SAG mills to HPGRs. That actually creates a significant reduction in power needs, and it also improves the later flotation circuit by improving microfracture of the rock. We also switched to filter tailings. That cuts water consumption by half, and it also reduces the footprint of the project, because now we can put everything in one valley. We don't need to sort of increase the interference of the project beyond that. I'd say those are the 2 biggest changes. Some of the other changes that we're doing is on the ESG side. Even though we have continental water rights, we've joined a consortium to use desalinated water in our project. And together with that consortium, we've made sure that they make water available for the communities that need it and don't have access to it. So the mining infrastructure can also make this scarce resource available to people who can otherwise not afford it. And I'd say those are the biggest changes. The other changes are we've been debottlenecking some of the primary crushing circuits, which are probably going to increase the production throughput a bit. But those are, I'd say, the bigger changes.
And probably reduce the cost some more, too.
By increasing the throughput, that has a direct impact on cost as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've got some big neighbors in Chile, Eduardo. You've got Teck, Codelco, Anglo-American. You sort of hinted at maybe attracting a major. Is that the ultimate goal, or is that just sort of an option for you?
This project belongs in the hands of a major. I mean, this project should not be built by a single asset company. It has a scale of, again, big tier operation. I'd say for most of the majors, given the scale and profile of the asset, this is right into the sweet spot of what they need.
Now, in terms of copper supply, it's estimated that by 2030 there may be a deficit of about 8 million tons. And so, wrapping it up here, what's the investment case for Los Andes, and what should investors know? Beyond what you've said.
It's a broader question. I think if we want to meet the climate change goals, that requires massive electrification. It requires changes in the power generation sources and significant changes to the distribution grid. There isn't enough copper to deal with that. There aren't enough discoveries today that can deal with that. There's no recession that can actually make a real difference in the deficit of copper that we're going to be facing anyway. Recycling doesn't make any, I mean, increased recycling is not going to change or have any meaningful impact on this deficit. So, to put it in simple, the world needs 40 or 50 Vizcachitas projects in the coming years. That's a real challenge, and I think the market hasn't factored that in. I mean, we're all looking at the next 12 months, but by 2030, there is a real issue about how do we get copper to meet all these other demands. And I think we're very well positioned to be there, but we're one of 40 or 50 that need to be developed.
We'll be watching. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Eduardo Covarrubias, he is the executive chairman of Los Andes Copper.